the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you now. This is going to be an interesting episode of the Jeremy Hill Show. Let me tell you why. What I have to show you today is actually a black woman, a modern woman, black woman, who actually is doing a positive thing. She actually returns back to a local high school. She is a boutique owner. She is a business owner. And she goes back to these schools talking to the young black girls, your black daughter. And the message is positive. But what she's talking about is how they dress, how they go out in dirty hair bonnets with pajamas on, looking like they just roll out of bed, don't care about their self-image or anything like that. And believe it or not, as positive as that sounds, ladies and gentlemen, she got pushed back from the musty back heifers. Now, what I'm going to do is first show you the speech that she went to the school with. Then I'm going to let another content creator talk about it. Then I'm going to also remind you of Monique. That thing she did when she was telling them the same thing. Hard-headed women will remain hard-headed no matter what you do, in my most humble opinion. Let's go ahead and get to it. Y'all need to start having some more pride in yourselves, lady. Let's get it.
How do y'all think we feel when y'all come to school like this? You can't play about yourself. You never know who's in the room. And people remember it's for y'all to go on Shein and build you a cart, right? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm gonna meet y'all where y'all at. Shein is where y'all go, right? It's nothing to get you a nice shirt. Never know who's in.
Notice what she has on. You see this all the time among our young teenage black women as well as young adult black women. Some pajamas, you know what I mean? Some flip-flops, might throw on a hoodie, a dirty old shirt underneath that with a big old hair bonnet. What she's showing you is what we see every day. And it looks so tacky. It looks so bad. It looks like you don't care about yourself. It looks like you don't care about your image. Now, when it comes to the black man image, the ones that's messing up the black man's image now are the black women, in my humble opinion. Because every other community of color look at our women and say, man, they carry themselves in a disgraceful manner. It's a reflection upon the men of that community. Y'all can't keep y'all women in line. Your women don't want to obey you. Your women don't want to dress in a modest way. Your woman don't care about how she carries herself. It makes the whole black community look bad as a whole. And the problem is our young women today have an attitude of indifference. They don't care. They don't care if people talk about them. They have no shame. The way she's dressed right now is shameful. That's only for inside the house. It won't be shameful if this attire was actually in the environment that is designed for. Your pajamas, don't go out the house, man. Your hair bonnet, don't go out the house, man. Your house shoes, your flip-flop like those hairy fuzzy, they don't go out the house, man. That's what tennis shoes are for. That you got other types of clothing that's designed for you to be outside. But you want to go out there, it makes you look dirty. It makes you look dusty. It makes you look like you don't wash yourself, like you don't clean your body right. It makes you look like you roll out of bed, went outside, handled your errands, got sweaty, dirty, dusty from going from to and fro throughout the neighborhood, came back home, didn't shower or bathe, and got right back in the same bed that you didn't make up this morning. That's what it looks like. So that's what she's trying to tell them. Let's keep going though. Hold on.
You a nice shirt. Never know who's in the room. Baby, that table right there, that's $1 million sitting at the table. Easily $1 million worth of black women sitting at one table that can hire you. It takes us just 2 minutes to put you on something nice. It's nothing like going somewhere and looking good and feeling good. It's nothing like it. So I hope that we see a decrease in the bonnets, the crop tops, the Crocs, the dirty socks, and all of the things, honey. Remember, I am a mother first. So from a mother to these beautiful young ladies in this room, I hope that you take more time to get yourself dressed.
Now let me tell you, there was absolutely nothing wrong with what that woman said. That's what young girls need to hear. But these young girls go back home to their ratchet mothers, and their ratchet mothers say things like, you can't tell my child anything, that's my child. Why can't she tell your child something when you're not telling them anything? You get what I'm saying? She's right. They in the Crocs, they got dirty socks on, crop tops, everything she mentioned, we see on the daily. in this community. Now I'm gonna let this lady talk about this herself. Check this out, man.
So the woman that y'all see speaking is a boutique owner, a business owner, and she has gone to one of her local high schools to speak to a group of young ladies about their personal appearance, taking time for yourself, and being prepared because you never know who's watching. I found this video on Instagram and it has 1.2 million views as of today. And the comments are very disappointing. Where you would think you'd have a majority of people applauding this woman and encouraging young women to look their best, feel their best, and be better prepared for their future, the comment section is full of, "You're teaching our teens to hate their culture. You're teaching young women about respectability."
That is not our culture. Looking like a bum is not black culture. Looking like a prostitute, a hooker, a call girl is not black culture. Waking up in the morning looking like you didn't wash your face is not our culture. Going outside in a hair bunny is not black culture. Going outside in dusty looking, dirty, dingy pajamas is not black culture. Walking around in dirty socks is not black culture. Smelling like marijuana when you go from here to there is not black culture. Using profanity, acting crazy, wilding out in the street saying, "I'm a baddie." That is not black culture. You know what those things are? Ignorance. Ignorance is not black culture. Black excellence is not black ignorance. I don't know where y'all getting this stuff from. You make the good ones look bad.
You're teaching young women about respectability politics instead of loving themselves and forcing people to accept them as they are. The comment section shows so much disdain and disagreement with this very true message that I am convinced that y'all want these babies to fail. I am convinced that while you may have well-intended words, you want these kids to really believe that they can go into the workforce, that they can go into society, dressing however, acting however, looking however, doing whatever, and people should still hire them for their potential. We don't know your potential because how you're presenting yourself is going against what my mission for my company is. The fact that so many people are upset that this woman and other women like me are encouraging young women to present themselves in the best way possible is mind-boggling. Y'all want to argue respectability politics as if we can change that you should want to take care of yourself and look like something. And that companies are expecting you to be a good representation of the company. And how are they supposed to know who you are and know that you will be a good representation of the company unless you are already carrying yourself like that?
Now, let me tell you what the real problem is, y'all. The real problem is this right here. In the black community, there are too many niggas. There are few decent black people out there. This is why this message of chastity, this message of virtue, this message of dressing modestly is not being effective because the decent black people are trying to explain it to the niggas. And there's a difference. When you are that, you are ignorant, you are rebellious, you are stubborn, you don't want to be told nothing, you cannot take accountability, you don't want to hear nothing. Everything is your way or the highway. The decent black people, they listen. Okay? What can I say? I say it like this. Wisdom speaks and knowledge listens. And decent black people understand what I just said because they know how to apply what I just told them. But for you other group of people out there, you are making everybody else look bad. And to the decent black people out there, only work with the ones who are willing to work with you. Only deal with the ones who actually want to change, because you're going to beat yourself up trying to change, or don't even try to change, but just explaining to them basic common sense things will make your head explode because you won't understand why they cannot accept simple morality, simple decency. These people just want to go out and be indecent and be crazy and be wild and live lifestyles of debauchery and promiscuity, sensationalism, pleasure. Let's chase pleasure. Don't chase any sensibility, but pleasures only. If it makes me feel good, just do it. To hell with the consequences. That's the problem. Now let me go ahead and put that old Monique. 'Cause Monique was talking about it, and if you know about what she said, she got a lot of pushback. Monique did, and it wouldn't. Some men push back against Monique, which is very pathetic and disappointing to hear a man get mad about another woman try to teach other women how to carry themselves with decency and respect. But the majority was the musty back heifers. They was, you can't tell us what to do. You ain't my mama. Those the one who's really getting on her tail. So let me go ahead and play the old one. Tell me if you remember.
Hey, my sweet babies. So, it took me a minute to say what I'm getting ready to say because I want to make sure I'm not saying it in judgment. And I want to make sure I'm saying it from a place of love. Y'all, some of y'all have given me the title of auntie. And I'm honored that y'all do that, right? But there are times where auntie got to talk to her babies and say some real shit. So yesterday, I was in the airport in Atlanta because I'm in Jackson, Mississippi now at Chuckles Comedy Club, right? And we got 3 shows tonight. We got a matinee at 5:30, then we got 7, then we got 10, right? And I'm excited. I always love going to the stage. So when we got to the airport yesterday, I was excited, like, all right, baby, let's go get him in Jackson, Mississippi. And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count and too many for me to tap. But I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport.
Now, let me tell you something. When she said, a lot of you call me auntie, and and I get what you say, because sometimes they call me unk on this social media thing, right? I want you to don't never pay attention to that. I'm gonna tell you why, man. They will call you uncle, godfather, auntie when you are saying the things or doing the things that they like. When you're not saying things that go against the grain, when you're not doing or saying things that will require them to change. As soon as you start talking or speaking out against what it is that is wrong that they enjoy doing, then you're no longer uncle, you're no longer godfather, godmother, and you're no longer auntie. Okay? Those terms of endearment have absolutely no weight with a whole bunch of people. It just sounds cool. It's like when you go to jail and they see an older man, like when I was locked up a few times, when they see an older man, we used to call that older man, what was it? Old head. School. It was school. We call them school, like old school. We used to call them school. It's a term of endearment. It's a way of respecting the fact that you're an aged person. We cool with you until you say or do something that we don't like. Then you're not school no more. Then you just a sucker. You get what I'm saying? So don't ever be mind blown when people give you these type of compliments, man. Some people call me on the social media OG, and I respect it. I respect a lot of stuff. I hope it's real. You know what I mean? But only time will tell, man, because like if I say something, I had people on my show, they loved the show till I actually made an episode about something they didn't like, then they couldn't stand me no more and talk crazy. You get what I'm saying? So if you really believe that person, if you really see him in the light of being an uncle, a godfather, a godmother, or auntie, or something like that, then you need to take the bitter with the sweet. You need to take the good with the bad. Because if you see that in them, if you see them in that way, that means they're going to talk to you out of love. It may sound harsh. It might sound firm. It might get underneath your skin. But if it's something that can actually bring change and betterment into your life, they're coming from a good, genuine place from it. Okay? A lot of y'all are just too damn emotional, man. Let's keep going.
Blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and their slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves? When did we step away of let me make sure I'm presentable when I leave my home? Let me make sure I'm representing the family I created so that if I'm out in the street, I look like I have pride in myself. And I'm not saying no full face of makeup. I'm not saying no full front lace frontal. I'm not saying none of that. All I'm saying is, could you please comb your hair? And if you don't want to comb your hair, they got enough shit out here now, baby, where you can style yourself up and look like you have pride. I'm not saying you don't have pride, but the representation that you're showing, someone would have to ask you to know that you had it. So my sweet babies, for the ones that do call me auntie, I love you for real. Even the ones that don't, I love y'all asses too. But the babies that say auntie to me, please listen to auntie. Always have pride in your representation of you. It's not to get a man. It is just your representation of you, my sweet babies. So I'm just giving y'all a warning. If I see you in the streets, in the airport, in the Walmart, and you got a bonnet on, and you got slippers on, and you looking like, what the fuck?
Now, here's the crazy thing about that, man. What she's saying. I want you to take note of how sweet and nice and respectful she was when she was communicating her thought to the women out there. Even though she was talking as sweet as she possibly can, she was trying her best to not be offensive. They still ran through her. They still railroaded her. I ain't talking about Netflix. I'm talking about the women she was talking to. They were talking bad about her. And then some simp men was also talking bad about her. In what way, Jay? There was some stupid, idiotic simps putting on hair bonnets to mock her and make videos about what she was saying. There's absolutely nothing. She's right about what she's saying. And it's sad that a woman up in years who would be considered an elder would be talking to women who are teenagers or young adult women and telling them, can you please just comb your hair? Are you that lazy now, y'all? That a person has to look at you and say, can you please just comb your hair? Just comb. Can you brush your hair? Can you please take a bath? Can you at least brush your teeth? How do we get here? I understand everything from the 60s and stuff when it came to, like, Jim Crow. I understand everybody getting kicked out. I understand how, women was forced to kind of put men out because of government system. I get that, but that's totally different. I'm talking about how do we get to the point where our women don't practice good hygiene? Because believe it or not, y'all, the way you dress is also a part of hygiene. If you're wearing dirty clothes, you're dirty. If what you got on looks like it's dirty, then the perception of you is that you're dirty. And for many people, perception is reality, regardless if you are or not. Some people dress in a way, especially our women, when you see them from afar, you think that they are dirty. You'll think that they're musty back heifers, right? That's the perception. That's the assumption. And like Monique said, you may have pride about yourself, but the way that you present yourself will make a person walk up to you to ask you, do you have it, in order to know that you got pride about yourself. Right? Yeah, well, I know somebody didn't like what I said today, but it's all right. I'll be talking to y'all pretty soon. Y'all have a good one now. All right? Be safe now, you hear?
Say that you've changed.